It's been the wrong one, and I need someone so I pull up and bring some. Oh, I would never rush on.
Okay. This is absolutely the final time with person whining about relationships.
Side note, we're gonna go on a little tangent, personal anecdote time. When I was in a situation with someone that was like 16, 17 years older than me, it was very short-lived, thank God. But I remember he got really weird. I was late to go hang out with him. I was 19 at the time. He got really weird. I was like late. I was coming over. And he called me and was just like, "Yo, where are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just walking to the train right now." He was just like, "Yo," because by the time I was walking to the train, I was already supposed to be there. He was just like, "Didn't we talk about your lateness?" And I was like, "Talk about my lateness? Talk about my lateness?" Like he made it sound like we had this conversation where it was like, "Don't be late." Like also, it's like, "You're not my dad." Like that's weird. Like we literally talked about how I literally talked about how I'd be late. But it's like I'm coming over. Like it's not like we have like an event. That's beside the point. He's calling me to reprimand me. I immediately was like, I don't like this at all. Never spoke to him again.
I want to point out a few things. This is one of the issues that men have. Now, this next part, it's a pet peeve. The daddy issue. The daddy issue. He's not my daddy. We know. Your mother knows. Your real father knows. He didn't sign your birth certificate. He's not old enough to have been your father. So you don't need to say that. What you're saying is, he's not somebody I will allow to correct my behavior. Because everybody knows he's not your daughter. He's not your father.
Hey, Sean, you are not.
It's self-obvious. But what you are saying is, I'm not going to be corrected by him. But I want him to play all the other pieces and parts of the role of a father. Like you are already talking, they want protection and they want provision. Those are father roles. The father role is what you should want in a male partner, because that's going to be the father of the children. Presumably you want children. So you would want him to have fatherly characteristics. The same with the woman. I don't want somebody that's like a mama. If you got kids, you want somebody that has motherly characteristics. Now they should be self-regulated. Like Bree talks about self-regulation. The tendencies in your life should not be so overbearing that they cripple the relationship. Like she should not be so mothering that she's enabling bad behavior because she's coddling. But she should have a desire to nurture. She should have a desire to care. The dude should have a desire to protect. Like Juanita Bottom's thing about throwing the stick out of the eagle, like the mother eagle dropping stick to see if the father could carry the weight. You would want the father to carry some of the weight, financial or physical. You want him to help out around the house, right? Isn't that what fathers did? Didn't fathers fix some things? Don't you want your guy to fix some things? So yes, you do want daddy, not your father. Your father's somewhere else, and you know who he is, hopefully. But even if you don't, you know this man's not your father. So saying he's not your father, and again, this is a pet peeve, it's self-obvious. It's rebelliousness. It's rebelliousness. So do you think it has to do with control? Yeah. Because people resist control even when somebody's just trying to correct their behavior. We're too egotistical. We're too selfish. So every time a woman says he's not my daddy, I'm like, Jesus, don't you want him to be your child's daddy? Like you want him to have some paternalistic tendencies. I would hope. Otherwise, he's probably going to disappear. He's going to reject the role if you don't see paternalistic tendencies in a man. When you do have children, he's probably going to fail or disappear. So if you don't feel fathered in some way by the man, guess what your kids are not going to feel? Same on the reverse. If the woman doesn't make you feel mothered in some way, comforted, if you can't put your head in her lap, and her rub your head, guess what your kids are going to feel? They're going to feel the same coldness. But we don't translate things. We don't translate, well, I want you to be a father in the home that we're going to build for a family. So I'm going to fight back against all your fatherly instincts, all your paternalistic patterns. I'm going to force them out of you. And then when we have kids, you're going to fail again because I've already worked all of those out of you. I've nagged you from, I don't let you check up on me. I don't let you know what I'm doing. I don't let you ask me questions. Well, what you going to do when the kids? Well, why don't you ever ask the kids how their day is going? Well, why don't you ever check? Why don't you ever help them with their homework? Because you showed me I shouldn't do that with you. You don't like it. Why would I carry that forward? So yeah, I mean, y'all can keep not having daddy around. So what you're saying at that point is, I want the other parts. I want the peen and I want the wallet, but I don't want your tendencies. I don't want the man. I really don't like men. I just like what you have to offer. The same thing with when the dudes do it. Independent mindset, absolutely. I don't want you as a human. I just want certain parts of you. I'm selective. And the same things dudes do. I want you to be cute, but I want you to shut up. I don't want your humanity. I don't care what you think or what you're interested in. And part of it is because, old girl, we get that kind of attitude. How am I going to connect with that? What am I going to do with that? As soon as I check you, you're out.
Are better than you niggas. Period.